Stefon Diggs back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you been, Stefon?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Thanks for having me.
You got it. So walk me through this. When did you first learn that Sam Bradford might suddenly not be able to go for you guys?
Well, we kind of learned late in the week because he did practice. He did throw the ball around during the week, just like the previous week. So we kind of got the news pretty late on in the week. But when we got it, we were excited for Case. Case to get a second opportunity. I feel like he was better than he showed, and he showed it.
And then this week, how are things different? Just because he had a full week of practice with you guys? Is that as simple as that, Stefon?
No, I try to keep things simple football-wise, but, he practiced a lot last week as well. I feel like, he hasn't played in the game in a while, and, that could play a factor. Being away, and, a lot of things played a factor in that, but we had a home game. We had a good amount of time to prepare. He already had a game under his belt, and he had things he wanted to get done. So I think the energy that he was bringing that day was just special.
Well, how has the offense improved as a whole, I guess, from last year to this? Because you have now 2 home games where you've lit it up, and we could technically, based on the circumstances of week 2, just toss that one out.
Yeah, I would say, everything is week to week, especially in this league, as far as winning games and losing games. Everybody is a contender. You can lose to anybody, but I would say this team, we just try to play together. We're pulling each other up, when we're down, staying motivated, staying in a positive light on the sideline throughout the game. So when adversity does hit, we don't get down on ourselves.
Well, Stefon Diggs here on the Rich Eisen Show. How is Sam Bradford? What can you tell me about him?
He's good. He's good. I mean, from what I know, I don't know too much about anything, actually, when it comes to injuries and stuff like that, but I talked to him. He seems good.
In good spirits, you mean? Is that what you're saying? Or is there any –
I'm saying in general. I talked to him. He always has a smile on his face around us, so always good energy coming from him.
Does he expect to play this week? I mean, what are you hearing about that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard.
All right. What's the scoop on Bridgewater? Has he been around? Have you seen him?
Oh, yeah, he's always around. He comes to meetings. He comes to he's always at the games, especially the home games. But as far as when he's at all the meetings, he gives all the coaching points that he can as far as, assisting us, especially when he can, at least, as far as, if he sees something, he gives us a heads up or try this or make sure you do this, that type of thing. So he's always there.
Ever since he went down, it always seems with your team, it's one thing or another. His injury, Sam Bradford's acquisition, his ascendancy, then his injury, then your coach having to leave the sidelines because of his eye and requiring surgery, and then now this year where Bradford starts hurt, Keenum in. How do you guys deal with this?
I think it's more of a we're kind of used to it now as far as having a next man up mentality and having faith in the guys that we do have, because things will happen. Our coach tells us this all the time, that adversity is going to strike not only on the field, but, anything can happen. We get news like Sam's going down. We can't sulk. We can't be sad about it. We got to make things work, and we got to put faith in the guys that we do have in place, like Case. And you see how big he stepped up when he has guys rallying behind him, and he's bringing in positive energy. So out there playing for one another is huge.
Stefon Diggs here on the Rich Eisen Show, fresh off of a 173-yard, 2-touchdown game for the 2-1 Vikings, who are taking on the 2-1 Lions in their house this week. We'll get to that Week 4 game in a second here. Stefon, I do want to hit you up on President Trump's comments from Friday night. How did that land in your locker room?
I would say, if anything, it brought us together. As far as the statements, I try not to go through anything with politics because I am a part of an organization, and I do share a locker room with guys from different religions and different beliefs. But at the end of the day, I feel like what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And all our guys stand behind each other, no matter what's being said. We stick together, and we're going to keep it that way.
Well, I'm hearing the message of unity across the NFL, and in the same way that I'm sitting here saying it's everyone's right to kneel on the national anthem, to make a point and start a conversation. It's the same person's right to say, I want to stand for the national anthem, and it means that much to me, and I want to be out on the field standing for the national anthem. Are there some people in your locker room that are saying that, and that's part of the unity discussion?
Well, I mean, as in this past game, it wasn't a discussion at all. We all together. Whatever we're going to do it together no matter what, no matter how we do it. Want to do it, we all do it, and we chose to lock arms, and that's what we chose to do. So that's how we're going to do it moving forward.
And are you concerned that there are some fans out there in Minnesota country and Skull Vikings country that are going to just be turned off by this conversation and no longer be a fan of the team?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't necessarily be concerned. I would more so say it's unfortunate because, every man has a right to do what he believes. And if he wants to take a knee and do anything for that matter, he should do so, especially if he feels it's right, because it's a lot going on in the world. And right is right and wrong is wrong. And if taking a knee is the first step, then I believe it should be done. Other than that, if you don't see it as, if a person's not doing anything malicious or doing anything to hurt anybody, and you take an offense to it, I kind of feel like maybe you might be the problem as well, because the people who are, taking action or just wanting things to be different, all they're asking for is change. And if you're going against change as far as like wanting something right or wanting something to be done, I kind of view it as you might be a part of the problem as well.
Stefon Diggs, Minnesota Vikings receiver, here on the Rich Eisen Show. How far do you think this team can go here in 2017?
I have 100% faith in the team. We're going to take it one game at a time, but good things can happen. You execute and you get things done. This week we got a new opponent. We got a new focus. We try and get a jump start early, starting to watch them closely, see what they've been doing the past couple of weeks, and try to get out on them.
Well, I mean, you guys know where the Super Bowl's taking place this year. Is there any open conversation of that?
It's always. That's the end. That's the end of the end of the road goal. The light against the end of the tunnel, I would say, because you can't get there without winning games, ahead of time. So for our focus is taking it one game at a time, and at the end of the road, if it's there, we'll be more than excited and more than happy to represent Minnesota the best way at home.
Stefon Diggs here on the Rich Eisen Show. How weird was it to have Adrian Peterson in a different uniform in that building to start the season? How strange was that?
It was definitely a different view. Probably more so for our defensive guys because they had to tackle him for once. They never got to tackle him ever. So for them, it's probably a sight to see. But for me, it was just I was happy for him. Happy for his new journey, happy for his new chapter, and I wish him nothing but success.
That said, his record for the most yards rushing as a Vikings player in his first 3 games, that record is now toast because Dalvin Cook passed it with now 288 rushing yards. That is 17 more than Peterson's record. How good is Dalvin Cook, Stefon?
Dalvin Cook is special. That's one word that can describe that young man as far as like what he brings to the table, his approach to the game, and his energy. I speak energy in existence a lot because I feel like you can play off of it as far as like when your QB comes in with that positive mindset, your running back comes in with a mindset. We come to work, we come to get things done, and we come to execute. So bring that to the table. I love him back there. I'm out there trying to push some guys around for him.
All right, lastly, Stefon, this is not your first foray on the Rich Eisen Show. As you know, we dialed you up when you were just a mere pup in this league. It's year 3, but you were breaking out, and we're like, you know what? I want to meet Stefon Diggs. I want the listeners and viewers of this show to get to know Stefon Diggs. So I'm saying that to set up this last question, Stefon. I care about you, okay? You do realize the relaxed celebration rules does not mean you relax so much that you start celebrating before you actually score. You are aware of that, right, Stefon?
I'm 100%. I'm 100%. I got this conversation at least 100 times now, so the care is coming from a good place, and I appreciate it. I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen.
Now, I know you held it up like prime, and you started slowing down. Did you hear about this from Mike Zimmer? You did get in the end zone, unlike your colleague from Chicago. I don't know if you saw Marcus Cooper get the ball knocked away at the 1-yard line against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I did see that, and I heard a lot of people were worried because they did see that play and thought it was going to be a remake. I'm lucky enough that I saw him. I'm not going to say I didn't see him. I saw him, and I was lucky enough to, get in the end zone. But I did hear this. I'm not going to tell you the things that he said to me, but, they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Some pretty good words.
Are you saying it was not safe for Mike Zimmer words? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. They were all, they were definitely, words to live by as far as, like, moving forward.
Okay. He worked blue in purple is what you're saying. A little bit.
Yeah.
All right, Stefon. Okay, very good. Thanks for calling in, Stefon. Let's chat again soon, okay? Down the line.
Thanks,
you got good luck against the Lions.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app, and I'll be sure to help the NFL figure out what a catch is.